In the grim darkness of the far future, there is only war. War that rages across 1,000,000 worlds. War that devours souls without end. Yet upon the golden throne seats the Emperor of mankind. His body broken, his will unbroken, his guardians eternal. Gather close, ye forgotten souls of the underhive. Press near this dying lumen globe. Its light a fleeting ward against the pressing void. For tonight, I, Halex the Shadow, shall speak of the Emperor's golden boys, the Adeptus Custodes. His personal guard, his confidants, the only beings in all of history to stand beside him as equals, as friends, as brothers. First, their creation. The Custodes were not born of necessity. They were born of perfection. In the hidden gene forges beneath the Himalayan peaks, long before the Thunder Warriors marched, before the first Astartes drew breath, the Emperor crafted them with his own hands. Each Custodian begins as an infant, selected from the noblest bloodlines of ancient Terra. Children of techno-barbarian kings, heirs of forgotten dynasties, taken willingly or not into the Emperor's laboratories. There, in gestation cradles of gold and crystal, they are remade. Not with crude gene seed like the legions, but with the Emperor's own genetic essence, infused cell by cell, layer upon layer of bioalchemy no mortal mind could replicate. No two are alike. Each is a unique masterpiece. Their bones denser than plasteel. Their muscles woven with threads of superhuman power. Their minds sharpened to diamond clarity. Their senses extended beyond mortal limits. They grow taller than any space marine, 9 feet in oromite plate. Stronger, faster, wiser. When they emerge from the cradles, they are already warriors, already scholars, already companions. The Emperor himself oversaw their early training. He walked among them, spoke to them, debated philosophy in the evenings, fought beside them in the Colosseum Aureus, corrected their form with a gentle hand, praised their insights with a nod. They called him Master, Lord, and in private moments, Brother. He called them by name, asked their counsel, listened. They were never tools. They were his companions, the only ones who truly understood his vision before the galaxy tore it apart. Their armor is oromite, gold alloyed with secrets known only to the Emperor, lighter than ceramite, stronger than adamantium, each suit handcrafted, engraved with personal deeds, worn for centuries. Their weapons, the Guardian Spear, are marvels. Power Blade, Bolt Caster, Misericordia Dagger, all in one. They number 10,000, no more. Each loss a tragedy, each name remembered. Now, their motivations. The Custodes exist for one purpose above all, to protect the Emperor of mankind. Not the Imperium as it has become, not the bureaucracy, not the faith, the man himself. Their loyalty is personal, absolute. They stood at his side during unification, marched with him in the Great Crusade, fought beside him against horrors that would shatter lesser minds. They saw him laugh, saw him weary, saw him doubt, saw him hope. They were the only ones allowed to see the man beneath the god. Even now, 10,000 years after the heresy, as he sits enthroned in agony, they remain at his side, guarding his broken body, watching over his silent vigil. They despise what the Imperium has become, see the High Lords as corrupt schemers, the Ecclesiarchy as misguided fanatics, the Inquisition as necessary but crude. But they act only when the Emperor himself is threatened, when the throne is in danger, when his will might be subverted. They are the talons of the Emperor, paired with the Sisters of Silence, the ultimate shield. Their place in the setting, they are the apex, above all others. The Space Marines are mighty, but they are mass-produced. The Custodes are perfection incarnate. One Custodian is worth a company of Astartes. A shield host can conquer worlds. They dwell in the Imperial Palace, a continent-sized fortress on Holy Terra, patrolling halls that have not seen human feet in millennia, standing watch before the gates that lead to the throne. When they march to war, it is a rare and terrible thing. Golden gods descending from the heavens, cutting through enemies like wheat. They are the Emperor's final, perfect creation, the last true remnant of what he intended. In an age of decay, they remain golden, unyielding, eternal. Now, let us tell the tale of the daily life of an Adeptus Custodian, both in the eternal watch of the Imperial Palace and in the thunder of war. In times the Imperium dares call peace, a Custodian's existence is one of perfect routine, perfect discipline, perfect readiness. The day begins in private chambers within the palace depths. Austere cells of marble and gold. No luxury, no excess, only what is necessary. They do not sleep as mortals do. They enter deep meditative trances, bodies still, minds alert, ready to awaken in an instant. At an appointed hour marked by ancient chronometers, they rise, perform the rite of awakening, a silent meditation upon their purpose, their oath, the Emperor's face in their mind. Then comes the arming ritual. Auramite plate is not donned quickly. Each piece is a sacred relic, polished to mirror brilliance, engraved with personal victories, seals checked, joints oiled, weapons blessed. This alone can take hours. Patrol duties follow. The palace is vast beyond comprehension, corridors stretching for hundreds of miles, all silent for centuries. They walk predetermined routes, alone or in pairs, senses extended, detecting threats no auspex could register. Some stand vigil before the Eternity Gate, the great portal to the throne room, unmoving for days, weeks, statues of living gold. Others guard the Sanctum Imperialis itself. The companions, 300 of the greatest, stand closest to the throne, watching over the Emperor's broken form, listening to his psychic beacon, feeling his pain. Between duties, training. The Colosseum area still rings with combat. Custodians duel with Guardian spears. No holding back. Blades clash in storms of gold. Wounds heal swiftly, but lessons are eternal. They study ancient texts, the Emperor's own writings, tactics from the Unification Wars, philosophy from Old Night. Debates rage in quiet halls. What the Emperor truly intended, how best to serve him now. Meals are taken in communal refectories, hyponutrient solutions, enhanced elixirs, eaten in silence or quiet conversation. Old campaigns remembered, fallen brothers honored. Afternoons bring maintenance of the palace itself. Ancient systems repaired, defenses tested, intruders, rare but inevitable, dealt with silently. Evenings return to Vigil. Some custodians stand watch through terror's night, though true darkness never reaches the palace depths. But when war calls, everything changes. A threat to the throne, a demon incursion, a traitor fleet approaching Sol. Then the Custodes march. Deployment is swift. Teleportation arrays, stormbirds in golden formation, or simply walking through ancient gates. In battle, they are perfection unleashed. No wasted movement, no unnecessary violence. Each strike precise, each kill inevitable. Single custodian can hold a breach against hundreds. The guardian spears sing a song of death. Bolts first, then blades. They fight in loose coordination, no need for vox chatter. Centuries of shared training make them read each other's intent. Against Chaos Space Marines, they are superior in every way. Against the demons, their very presence burns the warp spawn. Wounds, they fight through them. Regeneration accelerated. Only destruction of vital organs slows them. After victory, they withdraw. No occupation, no glory seeking. Back to the palace. Armor repaired. Deeds recorded. Vigil resumed. No celebration, only a quiet satisfaction that the Emperor remains safe for another day. This is their life, my listeners. Eternal preparation, eternal watch, whether standing motionless for centuries or fighting with the fury of gods. They ask for nothing. They receive nothing. They simply endure. For him, always for him. Now, the final tale unfolds. The story of one custodian. And how the Emperor's voice echoed across 10,000 years. This is the tale of Shield Captain Aurelian Thalor, a name known to few outside the 10,000, but a warrior whose vigilance preserved the throne. It begins long ago, when the Emperor still walked, when terror's skies were clearing of war's smoke. Young Thalor, newly forged, his Oromite still unmarked, trained in the Colosseum Aureus, the great arena where Custodians owned their art. That day, the Emperor himself observed, not from a distant throne, but among them, walking the sands, speaking to his sons. Thalor faced a veteran brother in sparring. His form was flawless, until pride crept in. He overextended, pressed too aggressively, left his guard open. His opponent's spear struck through. A shallow wound across the ribs, enough to teach. As Thalor recovered, the Emperor approached. The other custodians parted in silence. The Master of Mankind placed a hand upon Thalor's shoulder, not in rebuke, but in kindness. "My son," he said, voice resonant yet gentle. "I see your strength, your skill, but remember this. True mastery lies not in overwhelming the foe before you, but in perceiving the paths unseen, the strike not yet made, the threat not yet revealed. See beyond the moment, anticipate the shift, and victory becomes inevitable." Thalor bowed low. The words seared into his soul. A personal lesson, a gift from the one being in the galaxy who saw him as more than a guardian, as a companion. The centuries passed, the heresy came, the Emperor fell, ascended the throne. Thalor rose through the ranks, became shield captain, commander of the outer wards. His armor now bore scars of 1,000 battles, his deeds engraved in gold. Then, in the 41st millennium, the incursion began. A warp rift tore open in the shattered spire, an ancient defensive tower in the palace's outer precincts. Long abandoned, now infested. Demons of Zinch poured through, changers of ways, lords of lies and mutation, led by a greater demon, a lord of change named Kairos Fateweaver's lesser kin. Thalor's shield host, 30 custodians, transported directly into the breach, golden light flashing in the dark. The battle was immediate, terrifying. The demons shifted forms, illusions layered upon illusions. Walls became pits of fire. Walls bled prophecies. Brothers saw false enemies, struck at shadows. The Lord of Change hovered above, weaving spells that twisted reality. Custodians fell, not to brute force, but to deception, to strikes from impossible angles. Thalor fought at the center, a spear a blur of gold, banishing lesser horrors, but the tide turned against him. 20 remained, then 15, then 10. The demon laughed, its voice 1,000 whispers. See your doom, golden fool. All paths lead to failure. Your emperor abandoned you long ago. Thalor's brothers formed a final ring, back to back, facing annihilation. In that moment, as all seemed lost, the Emperor's voice returned, not as memory alone, but as clarity. See beyond the moment, anticipate the shift. Thalor stilled. Amid the chaos, he looked not at the demon's shifting form, not at the illusions, but at the warp threads themselves, the subtle pattern in the deception, the true anchor points hidden behind layers of falsehood. He saw the unseen path. Brothers, he voxed, to me, follow my lead. He charged not directly at the Lord of Change, but at what appeared to be empty air. The demon laughed harder, mocking the folly. But Thalor's spear struck true, piercing the hidden crystalline focus, the real anchor of the rift. Reality snapped back like a breaking illusion. The demon's form solidified, vulnerable, exposed. His remaining brothers, guided by centuries of trust, followed without question. Fears united, a storm of golden death. The Lord of Change screamed as Oramite blades found its true flesh, banished shrieking back into the warp. The rift collapsed. The incursion ended. Only 8 custodians remained, but the palace stood secure. Thalor knelt among the ruins. The Emperor's words, spoken 10,000 years ago, to a young warrior making his first mistake, had foreseen this day. A kindness, a lesson, a premonition. The Emperor had won this battle through a whisper across time. Thalor rose, returned to his vigil, the advice now etched deeper than any engraving on his armor. This is the truth of the Custodes, my listeners. They are not merely guardians, they are vessels of His will. His words live through them, His vision endures in them. Even in silence, the Emperor speaks through his golden sons, forever, in the Emperor's name. Now, before this lumen globe gutters out, and the darkness claims this alcove once more, hear me clearly, my faithful listeners. If these tales of the Adeptus Custodes have stirred something within you, if they have brought a moment of golden light to your weary soul, if you believe, as I do, that the Emperor's will endures even in exile, then I would be exceedingly pleased, nay, deeply honored, if you would reach out to the mechanical device before you the one that carries my voice across the void. Seek the runes beneath this stelling, the icons marked with thumbs held high, with bells, with the word subscribe. Press them. It is no heresy, no sin against the Emperor. It is an act of quiet devotion to the spreading of truth in these dark times. Let the Aquila of approval rise. Let the bell toll to summon future tales. Let your name join the rolls of those who walk with me in shadow, so that when I next speak, my words find you swiftly. Do this small thing, and together we shall keep the light burning, one story at a time. And I'll speak, my brothers and sisters of the underhive. In the comments carved below this vox casting, tell me what you hunger for next. Burning faith of the Sisters of Battle, the endless ranks of the Astra Militarum, the cold logic of the Adeptus Mechanicus, or deeper still into the Emperor's Golden Guardians. Name it, and Halex the Shadow shall answer in the Emperor's name.